Welcome to One Shot Music Lessons. I'm George, and today we're going to talk about chords. So in the episode with Anthony Powers, he references power chords.
It's one of the usual chords, or it's a power chord, and that's where I live.
So the simplest definition of a chord is two notes played together. Now where you choose to play that chord on the neck changes how that chord sounds. So a C can sound very big and open, or it can kind of sound a little more muted, and it doesn't ring out as much. There's a couple different types of chords. We're not going to get into the crazy, diminished and seventh and all the other. We're just going to talk about some very basic ideas of like bar chords, open chords, and power chords. With these chords, you're pretty much able to play most modern songs. We're going to start with open chords. The reason why it's called open is because there are some strings that are being played here that are not being influenced by where my fingers are. So what I mean by that is that the fifth, the fourth, and the second string are all influenced by my fingers, but the first and the third string are not influenced by my fingers. And that's considered open. When you're playing a string that isn't being pushed down on the fret at all to influence the sound, and it's just ringing out, it's considered an open note. So these are open chords because there are strings that are being played that are not being influenced by my fingers. Conversely, a bar chord is when all the strings are influenced by my fingers. So when I play a C way up here, what's happening is this finger is barring the neck and changing every single string on the neck. So this is considered a bar chord. This is also considered a bar chord. Choosing how you want to voice the chord can change the song. If I'm playing this versus, there's a very big difference in how that sounds, what vibe you get from that. This feels a little bit more percussive. This has a little bit more harmony, has a little bit more airiness to it. You can hear the difference and you can choose how you want to voice the chord for what you think that best serves the song. So we've talked about open chords, we talked about bar chords. Power chords are basically bar chords where you're only playing 2 or 3 notes at a time. While traditional bar chords, you can hear all the strings played. In power chords, you can only hear like 3 strings played. When I lightly put my finger over a string, no notes come out. So if I'm holding this guitar and only making sure that the pick is hitting these 3 strings, those notes and everything else muted becomes a power chord. It's what you're going to hear a lot in like punk music, sometimes in metal, sometimes in a lot of stuff where there's distortion, a lot of fast guitar playing. There's a lot more to the way you can play chords, and there's a lot of other fingerings that you can incorporate once you get better. But that's the basic idea of playing open versus bar chords versus power chords. And it's a great starting point, and I'll tell you what, most great songs you can play just using those chords. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.